Alright everyone, hello and welcome. So in this lecture we're gonna go over the asset that we downloaded, the pack that we downloaded, and we're gonna take a quick look at it, get to know the content browser a little bit more, and possibly start creating our own little level and that we can just work around with. So I am just gonna clear all this. Alright, so here, once you have your level opened, you're gonna be facing this content browser. If you have your content browser or whatnot, just go to your content browser. If you don't have it open, just go to the window channel, the window tab. Just from the drop down, just select content browser if you don't have it open. Just tag it here, or if you have it already. So we have our content browser, which I talked about before a little bit. So this is going to be where all of our things in our project get stored at. Imagine this as a storage for all of our files and every single level, asset pack, like just literally anything, sounds, anything would be stored here in our content. And this drop down is between two sections, as I said, contents and engine. Engine is mostly the engine stuff. We don't want to look at this for now. We have content, which since I have to start a content enable when I was creating my project, this is here, but if you don't have it, it's okay. We have levels, which we made. This is how we have our level saved, and this is the level. And since we also downloaded the Stylized Egypt pack, it's going to be it just got added here as well. So let's just take a look at this. So I like how this is very sorted out already for us. So this section, I mean this place has four main folders in this pack that we are going to work with. So there's a maps, which basically is the levels that we have. If you double click this level, you're going to be facing a level that the guy basically made himself when he was making the video. And we're gonna be basically working with. This we're not gonna be working with or look at it because this is something that he just made for the showcase. So let's just not take a look at that. That's basically the level he made. So we have materials, meshes, and textures. Let's just go for meshes first. So meshes are basically static meshes, or meshes are anything that can be dragged into our scene like this, and we basically have a lot of this is basically a model that we can just drag it into our scene and work with. So, and there's so many. There's like plants. There's so many things, and like this plant is actually animated as well. That's pretty cool, and all. So that's the meshes tab. The materials are basically the materials consist of textures. So what does that mean? This is gonna be already familiar with people who have already done 3D software modeling before, like Blender or anything else. But since for people that don't know, textures are basically the colors that our models have. For example, imagine a little cube that if I grab into our scene, textures. This cube, if we want to give it any color, it comes with material, okay? And if we select that material, it's going to take that. However, materials and textures, how are they different? Okay, materials are basically little things, so we can only put materials on this cube, as you can see. So the reason for that is that materials are specifically there for Unreal Engine to combine different attributes of a texture, of different textures, and combine them together to make the perfect like coloring for you. This is basically in simple terms. There's some math going on and some blending here going on. And as you can see, for example, if I want to go to textures here for example, I don't know, the stones, we have different ones, but they all have different, like if we look at, for example, T underscore moss, it has a base color and it also has a normal, and those two get combined. So for all the mapping and all the other cool stuff for it to be able to get built, and then by using a material, once all those are blended in, we can just apply to a surface. In this case, for example, if I just drag it here, it would be like that, or I can just select it from the drop down. I like to do it that way. It's easier. So yeah, that's the difference between materials and texture. Textures are basically usually come into a PNG form or whatnot. Um, and materials are, as I said, these are assets by themselves that combine those textures for us to work with. Okay, so meshes, that's the one we're going to be working with, and thankfully these meshes already have the textures and materials applied to them. So we're not going to worry about that because later on, when we're importing assets from not from Unreal Engine, from other like custom models or whatnot, we are gonna be having problems with textures a little bit, and it's not gonna be easy. Some of them are not previously built. Sometimes Unreal Engine doesn't import the textures, and we gotta do it manually and create the materials. We're gonna go over that later, but let's just work well with what we have right now. So we're gonna go into building, and as I said, I really love how this guy has everything organized. Like that's why I like everything for myself organized as well in this case, because you know what where's everywhere. Like if you wanna maybe like if you wanna grab two plants, if it was all in the same folder, it would be like, oh god, I gotta look for it, but or at least search it. But if we're in plants, you would just go to plants, and then here we go, we have everything. That's why, yeah, for large scale projects, this would really come handy. And why not this? You would just start practicing early, so you would just know, and this would be better for yourself as well in the future. All right, so let's just get straight into it. Let's quit talking. So we're gonna be making a little quick level, like tiny level for us. So I'm gonna be working with here. So I'm gonna use this as the ground for us, and I'm gonna put the snapping as 10. If you put it as 50, so I'm gonna make a clone out of this by holding Alt. So once I do this, if you happen to see this, if you put it on lit mode, don't forget that. There's clipping going on here, and this usually happens when there's two objects overlapping on top of each other that are in the same location, like their locations are overlapping. And for that to not happen, usually for example, if I put it onto 50 and I see, oh, this is being weird, just put it into 10, just decrease it, see if it works. In this case 10 works, so we're fine. And again, if this is not turned on, make sure it's turned on. And we only turn it off in cases where we want to move it very slightly and custom, like the way we only want it to be. But usually, as I said, if you want things to be next to each other, we would just use basic snapping. Same for rotation, same for everything. So I am going to be holding control, select multiple, make multiple copies of this, and make sure these are all standing out. I'm gonna hold control again. I'm gonna make a little ground for us. Here we go. Okay. Let's make this a little fancy, and I hold down control every time I want to make a copy. Alright, so this looks pretty cool. So if I happen to add any lighting to my scene right now, I am going to be adding a point light here. Alright, let's see how this works out. Alright, so I'm gonna save it. Let's see. Alright, I like this. Again, our character doesn't have any physics or anything, but it's okay for now. So we have our little level. So this is just a little platform. I'm gonna maybe make it a little bit more interesting. So from here, there's a lot of other things that you can play around with. And in this case, I'm gonna be putting this, for example, here. Or maybe let's go for a little house. I like that idea. Let's just see if they have any floor or ground. Here we go, we have floor. I'm gonna drag this floor here. And again, this is overlapping. This is weird. So make sure like, and sometimes the ground textures, as you can see the ground underneath it, and for that to stop happening, just play around a little bit with the location until you get everything right. I'm just gonna move it down, move it forward, so it goes a little bit in. Here we go. So, yep, that looks good. Okay, so that's about that. I am gonna be making copies of this. Let's just put it snap 50, say 100. Let's see if this is gonna make my life easier. Oh hell yeah, that's good. That's good. Okay, so I'm just gonna make a little something out of this. Not a big one, you know. Just want to make it a little goofy and whatnot. Okay, let me just extend this little ground place for myself, just in case. So here we go. Okay, so we have this, and I am going to be, of course, adding multiple layers to this. So I'm just gonna maybe, this is big enough. Looks like it. Or at least let's just make it a little bit bigger. Okay. Oh, there's a little angle floor as well. I can put, why not just put something? Yeah, that looks good. I like this one. Let's see. And here we go. So in this case, I'm gonna press copy and we'll paste the location here. So the reason I'm doing this is that once you're going, so if I want to like adjust this and align this myself, it's gonna take a little while, and it would not be the same result, especially with snapping and all that. What you gotta do, if your model has, for example, the location pivot, which is here, it's where we grab or rotate or whatever our object. If it's in the corner or like whatever of the mesh, we can use that to our advantage. So we can just copy it because the location is stored in here, and we can just paste it here. And now if I move this forward, it's going to be pretty simple. As you can see, it's like already everything's cool here. So let's see if I can make this align. It's okay, since we're going to put walls around, it's going to cover it. Okay, that is this. And we also need walls for our little thing. So in this case, well, this is a big one. Of course, a door. A door. We do need a door. Absolutely, we need a door. So I'm gonna make a little hallway. Actually, let's just make a little hallway so we can enjoy, just like going around and all. You know, just as I said, just try to make it fun for yourself. Make something that you enjoy playing. It doesn't have to be something like Call of Duty or anything. Just make something that, you know, you would find enjoyable, and you would find like yourself liking it. You know, really, it really matters. It really does, especially especially when you're trying to actually and here I'm gonna search up floor here, so I can just press Control A and select every floor. In this case, well, the thing is, these are called blocks. The name for all these are floors. Just made things easier for myself. I'm just gonna move this around a little bit. Okay. Or maybe actually here. Yeah, I like this. Okay. Now we're gonna go a little bit back. Okay. I like this. Let's of course add more here. One more layer. Alright, so we have this. Just gonna put a little window here so we can see the outside. So in this case, it's gonna be what? I'm gonna put this little window here so we can spot little things and little cool tricks around here. Actually, this window would be better, in my opinion. I don't know. Personal opinion. Don't really take it serious. Okay. And I am going to also be putting this guy here so we can have a little oh, I like this one. Yes, this is exactly what I was looking for. So I'm gonna make a little hallway for us. It's like a little, I don't want to say bazaar, but like, you know, little fancy place, like a Egyptian style thing. So here we go. I'm just gonna make copies out of this. So let's see if this is enough. No. Okay. Okay. Yes. Okay. So that looks good. I am gonna move this around here, and here we go. Okay. I'm just gonna press Control Z. I am gonna make this little level. What am I saying? So yeah. Once you get your hands around the engine, you're gonna be more comfortable with it. You're gonna be more confident with everything you do. And yeah, it's just gonna be much more enjoyable for you to do things. Okay, so we have this. Now I'm gonna make a little doorway for here. So we do have a doorway already, but I like this one actually. Wait. I'm sorry. This just caught my attention right away. I'm just gonna wait. Just gonna rotate this. I'm gonna place this here. And I'm gonna actually, yeah, that looks so much better. I like this. I do like this a lot more since like we can have a little staircase thing later on. Okay, so I'm just gonna put this here for now. Okay, so let me see what else we can put here. We can put, I do really want to complete that staircase for some reason. I don't know why. Let me just copy it again, paste it, and I'm gonna move it back. This is a very good asset pack. As you can see, everything can be lined up next to each other with pixels, and you don't have to, because a lot of some asset packs, like this is perfectly lined up, and I love this. A lot of asset packs don't do that, and it's so annoying, and basically you gotta have to do everything by yourself, and sometimes you gotta even use some tricks, which I'm gonna tell you later. So okay, that looks cool. Okay, so this looks nice. I like this. Okay, so that's for now, like later on. And back to the wall that we were making. Let's see the walls. So we want a doorway, and I'm gonna make a little tiny doorway here. Doesn't have to be big, but let's see what can we do to make it fancy. So I'm just gonna search up door. Here we go. We have a door, and let's just search up wall. And what kind of walls do we have with that color, since my house is with this color? Okay, so we do need a doorway, which I really do want to find in this case. Um, let's see. Is this a door? No, this is not a doorway. I remember seeing a doorway. Oh, here we go. That's exactly what I needed. Gonna paste this again for snapping and correction and everything. I'm gonna paste it, move it around. Here we go. I like this. Okay, so and here we go. Let's see if there's, is that the only door I can, yeah, that's the only door I can use. Though, this is actually pretty good. I mean, hey, I can, so since this is gonna rotate and all, this looks pretty nice for a door that can rotate. So I'm just gonna be moving it here. There we go, that's better. That's a lot better. I'm gonna move this a little bit more in. And a little bit maybe here. Okay, here we go. That looks nice. See, this is the case, for example, we use that. And this looks great. So if I happen to put a something here. Oh, fantastic. I like this. I like this a lot. Oh yeah, this looks nice. Okay, so let me just move it back. As you can see, some of these walls, when your walls are like this, it's gonna be a pain aligning things up. That's why having the whole aligning and snapping thing really helps. It really does. Okay, so I'm gonna move this to the little corner here, and yes, so Control Y to redo. Okay, so and I'm gonna put this little wall, and obviously I'm gonna line it up. Copy and paste for everything to line up on each other, and just gonna, okay, it's gonna work with that. Good. Alright, and now you're gonna see the problem I was talking about. So the problem here is this, as you can see. So from inside it looks perfectly fine, right? But from outside, look how it looks like you can see the inside. Well, there's ways you can get around it. You can just put a pillar or something. That's probably what I'm gonna do. Or you can just basically, there's sometimes corners you can use. For example, in this case, well, this is a corner actually you can use yourself. Here you go. And it's a pillar as well. I'm gonna be using this anyways. So, okay, so again. Oh, this is a little bit also in the ground, so I was just worried about the top, so I'm just gonna bring this up. Good, I like this. I like this a lot. Okay. That's pretty good. Okay, so now I'm gonna do the same thing on the other side, which means I am gonna copy this and paste it here. be putting this the same location as this one. Here we go. That looks pretty nice. I like this. Okay. That is pretty nice. Okay. I don't want this to be floating in the air, so I'm just gonna put a little bit more in the ground. This looks like it's floating in the air. These really come like for use. So if I like put a light here, again, I'm just gonna be testing it. That looks nice. That looks pretty okay. Okay. And let's just actually work around here. So I'm gonna be putting this here, putting that here, putting this here. As I said again, the walls would cover it. Don't worry about it. And well, there's gonna be different ways we can cover it, don't we? So if I happen to, this is gonna be a little bit weird, but is this gonna work? What do you guys think? Yeah, I mean, it actually does work. It does work in a very cool way. I like this. Though, I mean, it's a little bit tricky. So I'm just gonna copy, gonna paste it here. Then I'm gonna move it to this side and drag it a little bit forward and a little bit more right, maybe. Okay, let's see how this works out. Okay, so we have some aligning issues again here, so that's going to be a little bit hard for us to basically align things together. Again, we can see different things here. So in this case, I'm not going to use this. I'm just going to use a basic wall. So the same wall that we have actually. So let's go. So now we need to use our rotation skills. Let's press E, rotate it until it works. In this case, this much. It's okay if it goes more. Doesn't matter because we're inside. We're not going to look at it from an outside perspective, right? What matters is that what's visible outside matters. For example, this little window is not causing anything. In this case, it's aligned badly, but all you got to do is basically align it perfectly here and just paste it here. Here we go. We have this. Let's go. And let's just go a little bit more. In this case, I'm going to actually replace this wall with another window wall, which is actually nice. It looks like kind of this. Yes, I like that. I like that a lot, actually. Okay, let's see. And I'm going to move it to 10, and here we go. Sometimes you need to rotate it. I'm going to rotate it since the pivot point is here, and that's going to be actually way easier. Okay. And let's see. Yours is going to be different. Again, I want you to just get your hands comfortable with it. It doesn't have to be the same thing. It really shouldn't be, actually. All that matters is that I want you to get yourself comfortable with this. So, you know, you can basically get creative. You can build whatever you want with it. Okay, so that looks good. That looks good. Again, from the outside, it doesn't matter. What matters is from the inside. You know, when they say don't bite doja. Though, I'm really worried about this, which looks good, actually. That's nice. Okay. Let's just continue what we were doing. So, I am going to be using this. So, I want you to also notice one thing. So, from these options up here, as you can see, if I switch this, the axis is going to change. This is called the local and world transforms, and I want you to, well, we were going to talk about that later on when we're using logic, but basically, for now, I'm going to use this because, look, if I move it, it's going to move in the direction it's rotated to. That's the local rotation, but in the world rotation, it still goes to left, right, whatever. So I'm just going to do this. I'm going to put this right next to it, and I'm going to rotate it more. Okay, that's nice. That looks nice. I could use this one as well, but it's okay because let's see, what else do we have. I'm gonna just put this here. So here again, now we're gonna see a difference. If we see, they see that's the problem. Okay, so what I'm gonna do, so this looks a little bit wonky. So what I'm gonna do, I am going to extend these three by one more. So what I mean is that I am gonna have these. Or actually, I'm gonna just put this here. Okay, and for here, I can just put a pillar. I can just put a pillar for each of these. So in this case, I'm just gonna put a new type of pillar, which corresponds with the angle of the walls. I want it to look nice and, you know. Let's put it on lit mode. I like this a lot more. Alright. Okay, that looks fancy. I like this. And I'm just gonna select these two and basically copy it and do the same thing. So I'm just gonna make sure you're sometimes as you see, once I put this, I cannot drag it because it's transforming it in the other direction in locally, which is okay. It shouldn't matter much. So I'm just gonna put it into what's it called? The other mode, and then I'm gonna do it from scratch again. So I'm gonna drag this in. Okay, and I need one more. Do we need one more? So for that one, I am gonna be using here. Let's see if I can actually use. Okay, that's good. That's good. Okay, that's exactly what I needed. So let's line these up, move this back, and here we go. We have a cool wall for ourselves. Though we gotta be careful about this guy right here, about our outside getting exposed. So what I'm gonna do also, so I'm gonna make it so that from this side, it's also sticking out like this. So you know, we'll cover up our own mistake with the mistake. That's what we always call it. Here we go. So I want to make sure it's not visible from the inside. Alright, that's exactly what I want. Let's just bring it a little bit down. I make sure. Okay, that's nice. That's good. That's exactly what I want. So, that is good. That is fantastic, actually. For this, though, I am gonna put a new window, which basically is this kind of window. Just because, you know, why not? I'm just gonna basically copy the location for it, delete it, paste it, just rotate it, and then paste it. Here we go. We have it on. Okay, that looks nice. I am really actually satisfied with what we got here. So what I'm gonna also do again, I'm gonna rotate these and do the same thing with them here. Okay, so if I happen to put some light here, this should be good. Okay, it is. Indeed it is. That looks pretty nice. Looks pretty fancy. Okay, so we have a little wall area for ourselves. I am gonna just put another just gonna put another one of these here. Or maybe actually just the same one. Just to keep it short. Okay. Let's go. I'm just gonna copy and paste this and put it here. Here we go. That looks pretty decent. So now I'm gonna decorate these inside. So actually, before that, I am gonna make sure that all the walls are built up. Before I wanna do that, I wanna just make sure we. Well, yeah. Let's just put some props. If we have any boxes, which we do, I'm just gonna put a little box area. I'm just gonna drag in some boxes. I'm gonna make this. If you want to make it a multiplayer game, I mean, or this is not going to be a multiplayer course, but I mean, if you want to make a little map and start practicing that, just do that. Just maybe make like a, how Counter-Strike and everything does that. Just gonna make a little box area. We can have some actually some pots here as well. And here we go. I'm gonna put these here. I'm gonna put that here. That looks nice. That looks nice. Okay, so imagine if inside there's a little big outside. How about this? I'm gonna put this outside for us. So because that looks nice. Next to the bridge, maybe. Just get creative with it. I really want to actually see your creations with these. So in this case, I'm just going to put this in 0 to make sure this is nice. And here we go. Something like that, And we have a little fancy place for ourselves. Okay, and I'm going to just put a little plant. So I'm just going to put some plants here. Here we go. And I'm just gonna randomly distribute these. Though the grass and other stuff are different things that we need they're called foliage in landscaping. We're not gonna really actually go take a look at that stuff for now. Though you can place them around however you want. I am gonna just put these here, for example. And here. I'm gonna actually rotate this. Because I want to make it not look like they're two of the same models. So I'm also gonna put a little plant here as well that's growing here. It's a little vine, fancy. Here we go. So this looks pretty decent. Let's see if I can move it a little bit more. If I happen to rotate it, is it supposed to be like this? Because if it is not, this looks nice. I like this. That also looks good. I'm gonna put this around here as well. These are all vines, so I'm just gonna go for some of these bushes. Gonna rotate them randomly, and gonna have it here. Just gonna have 2 of these grasses. Just rotate them a little bit. Actually, you know what? No, let's forget about the grasses. Because again, those are called foliages. We don't want to go into that for now. We have that. We have this. I'm going to put another bush here. Alright. I mean, this looks pretty decent. I like this myself. This is pretty, like, simple. But yet, again, this is we can put some stones around for us to, just add some more objects around. So our level doesn't look empty. So in this case, I'm just gonna put a little stone. Well, that's a small one, but let's just put a big one. Yeah, like this little chunky boy. Gonna put it on here, and if I go to building again, if I happen to find something that I can put this on, I will. which this looks pretty decent actually, like a little, you know, magical thing that's standing up. I'm gonna put it down here. All right. Okay. So, like imagine we have this, or if you want, we can just put a let's see. Let's see what we can actually come up with. Plants. The plants, the stones. We already have the stones props. We can come up with a cool prop. For example, we can put this on top of here. Yeah, that looks nice. So we can just go for this. Here we go. I'm gonna put this around here. Center it a little bit. Put this back here. You know, have two of these. And copy them and put them back here as well. And yeah, let's see what else we can add. I mean, we have some crates. I'm gonna add another crate here. So like, let's say area outside for us. In this case, I'm just gonna use a vertical one, sorry. And let's see what else we can add. I think we need to decorize our building a little bit more. So let's see what we can add to it. So this adds some other stuff. Building part. No, we don't want building parts for now. So what I'm gonna do if we don't have many choices. Well, actually we do. So I'm just gonna. Ooh. The wooden boards we also have. Alright, I mean, hey, we have the windows. I am gonna put the window for now here. So, just gonna wait. Gonna copy it, paste it, snap it. Don't forget that. Okay. So the windows are overlapping, which it's whatever. So let's see what we can do with it. Well, that's a big one, or it's not, or is it? Because yeah, look, the frames are gonna overlap. Okay. I don't think there's gonna be much for us to do here anymore. I mean, I can add. Oh, I can add a little something on top of here. That looks nice. That little pillar is blocking our vision here, so I'm just gonna move it back. Make sure it's in the center. You know. It's gonna make our life a lot easier. So I'm just gonna put this light. Okay, so this needs to go a little bit back then as well. I like this a little bit more. Yeah, that looks nice. Okay, so we have our little place. We have a little. We can just decorate it like that if you want. I'm gonna put some, you know, put some signs or something around here. Just get creative. Just get really creative. It's really up to you how much you're willing to put your creativity and use it. The more you put time on it and the more you spend time on it, the more you're gonna enjoy the results of what you do. So in this case again, I'm gonna be rotating this. So I'm gonna be setting it to 0 since here we go. I think this needs to be rotated a little bit more, so I'm just gonna be moving it here. Let's make sure they're lined up and then move it back. Okay, that's exactly what I want. Good. So, and we also have another one here to set, since I want to make sure our building looks fancy enough. So I'm gonna move this here. Let's move it back here. Let's make sure everything's lined up. Okay. Perfect. Let's make sure this is centered. Let's make sure this is also centered. And let's now make one more. Set it to 0. Oh, it's not 0 yet. So I'm gonna put this as. Let's see if this is gonna be fine. No, it's not. Let's see if this is gonna be Okay, yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna be putting this in the center, bringing it out a little bit, and here we go. We have this house. We have it a little bit designed. Just gonna maybe put a little pillar in the corner for us. So if we have a wooden beam or something like that, that would be actually pretty nice for us. Just for the player or for the people to be able to walk around. So in this case, again, gonna see if I can put something else here that would basically, or literally something like this in the center. Yes, this would be nice to define a little wall or something, or let's see, I can maybe distribute it as well. So let's see if I can do this, and if I do it every 100 pixels. So I go here and here. Okay, that's not bad. I like this. I like this. So now we maybe add a little bit of roof or something on top of this. So let's see our options for now. So we have a roof, dome, and we have a pyramid. Okay. Let's see if I can put this on top of here as well. That would be nice. Let's see. Let's see. So you go here. That looks nice. Okay. So now, what I want to do, well, I want to put some pyramids around here. So they're going to be big, as you see, I think, because basically they're going to be ones without even interior. So I'm just going to be putting them here. And here we go. And basically they're going to be the background for us. Just going to be putting these around here and just playing around with it. Make sure you get comfortable with it again, as I said. Like imagine if this is a magical place with like a cool setting and all. Just gonna make sure the Z value means the up and down location is the same by copying this, and then I'm gonna move this around and probably do something like this or whatever. I'm just gonna be putting it there for now actually. And let's see if I can make another copy of it. Here we go. That looks nice. Okay. Now, let's see for the roof part. What are our options? Because usually, if there's good roofs, yes, this looks like a good roof. But if you go inside of it, the roof, as you can see, the top of it is visible. What I'm gonna do personally, we can actually cheat our way around it. So what this means is that, well, I want to make sure first of all the player is able to walk. So I'm just gonna be opening this. Later on, we're gonna add some logic. So if I happen to light this up for now, we're gonna talk a bit about lighting as well. So this is gonna be okay for the player to walk around. All right. Yeah. That's all I wanted to see for the height of the player, if that's gonna be fine. Okay. I'm gonna be putting this here. Okay. And maybe a little bit to this. I'm gonna make this universally big. Okay, so yeah, that's gonna be better. It's also gonna cover all the other stuff as well. I just want to make sure the outside perspective from this side, which is visible to the player, is okay, which is not, as you see. So what I'm gonna do is that I'm gonna move this a little bit more inside actually. So as you can see again, let's see. Let's see what we can do. Let's just also move this a little bit more to this side. Let's also move it a little bit up. Now let's just put some light here and check it if this looks weird. Yeah, this looks a little bit weird, so what I'm gonna do is I am gonna move this in. So Yeah, this looks pretty weird. So, okay. This. So, again, we're gonna be working with something else, probably for the roof. So I really do want to see my options here. So all we have is this guy and that guy, which really get annoying. So that's gonna be a hassle for us to work with. It really is. So wait, if I copy this and paste this location, would I happen to have a little bit of freedom at least, or no? Because that is important. Okay, at least they line up, do they? Let's see. Okay, they line up. They line up. That's good. That's good. So we just did it in wireframe. All right. So this does, but how about this? Because I really wanted to put this here as a roof for this section. You know. So why not actually? One thing also I can do, I can just build it and then build this dome on top of it. Since we don't have options for roofs and we want the player to walk inside, we are forced to use something like floors in this case. Which, actually, it's not a bad idea. We can just, like, literally rotate it. And you would have it if you want it this way, or you can have it this way. The same, because if you look under it, it looks fine. That's actually the better idea, in my opinion. So, here we go. I'm just going to make it simple. So, we're going to go from the corner, and actually, I have a better idea. Since we have them selected and it's going to be better, I'm going to be selecting all of this and literally just bring them all up. We don't even need this. So, again, that's going to be brought up. And we're going to remove this guy. This lonely guy. Okay, this actually is better than I thought. Look at that. So, and I want to make sure again the player can walk inside of it. And yeah, this looks pretty nice. Look at that. That looks fantastic. Okay, so what else? So okay, this looks a little bit wonky. If I happen to bring this, so I still have some freedom to bring this up. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna still make sure our player has a little bit more space because this looks a little bit tight. Okay, that is fantastic. That is perfect. Fantastic. Okay, a little bit down maybe. Okay, better, 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 better. Good. Love it, absolutely love it. It looks great. It looks great. Okay, so that is number one. Number two, it's this little light bleed that's gonna happen probably. So what I mean by light bleed is that since if we happen to put any lights or anything outside, for example, imagine sunlight, it could really affect things inside without us knowing it. So if I happen to, for example, get rid of this and happen to come inside and do that, you could see the wall, like you could see it bleeding through these surfaces, as you can see, like for example here. This is one of the spots. You know, that can get really irritating. So that's why I want to make sure everything's covered. So well, first of all, we want to put our little dome on top. That's gonna be from the outside perspective, right? So I'm gonna be putting this here. Here we go. That looks fantastic. I love this myself. Okay. Great. And what is this? So this is a little wall. And this is another wall fence apparently, right? Yeah, okay. Let's see. And since our player is going to go on top of this, he's going to be able to see through here. So I want to make sure. Yeah, that's why when we need to use something like a little wood, I saw one of those wooden or we can just literally just use some other decorations as an excuse. So let's see, what direction is this facing? So if I happen to put a light here, let's see what direction is this facing. So if I happen to put this here, okay, that's not a good idea. How about this guy? Let's Let's see, that's still not good. We actually had a whole column that we could use. I like that more. Let's put this here. Let's copy the location of it, delete it, paste it here. Just move it exactly 200, which is 100 times 2. I'm gonna make it another. Here we go. That's nice. Okay. Alright, and we have this. We have that. And obviously, since the player is gonna be able to look at it from the top, I'm gonna move this down since this is invisible. Okay, good. If it goes through the ground, it's okay. So we have that. We have this. Let's see if I can put something on the top. We're gonna be able to maybe, I don't know, something like, I'm thinking. If I put, I mean, for the light bleeding, we can, I think, use one of these. That could be really nice, since it also covers the both parts, and it also gives it a fancy look. I like this. So here we go. I'm gonna go here, do this little quick. Make sure it's gonna be almost not like no weird light like visibilities through the walls. Okay, now let's see if this is pretty nice. This looks nice. Okay, so as I see, I can still see through the roof here. So what I'm gonna do again, I'm gonna move this a little bit forward, and this little guy also a little bit inside. Yeah, that's better. Okay, let's just continue with what I was doing. So I'm just gonna again move this forward. Okay. Now, let's just see if this is gonna work it out. Good. Fantastic. Okay, that's exactly what I wanted. Still, there's gonna be stuff from outside, but again, this is gonna be just a little bit of practice for all of us so we can just get our hands comfortable with this. And here we go. I'm just gonna make little copies of this and then just cover the whole thing for this area as well. So I'm just gonna be going here, moving it around 90 degrees, making sure they don't overlap because that's gonna be a hassle later on dealing with. Here we go. And let's just repeat it. Let's see, let's see, let's see, let's see. So, I don't want it to overlap any of the stuff we already have, so I'm just gonna be working with this. Alright, that looks nice. That looks exactly what I wanted. Let's just see if I can move this a little bit forward, because this is overlapping that a little bit. Maybe, let's see. Okay, that's pretty good. I like that. Alright, fantastic. Great, great. This is exactly what we want. And, well, obviously, it's not the best, but it's something. And, well, my engine just froze for a sec. If it does that, don't worry. Just don't freak out, because it's really important for you to not freak out. Okay, so this looks fantastic. I like it so far. Maybe later on we're gonna add more things to it. I'm gonna complete it by the next video. But basically, yeah. So I made a little environment, and if you want to see the final result, I mean, all you got to do is just drag in a directional light, and you will have basically a full. Oh, this is a perfect lighting. I like this because there's almost little. Yeah, there's no light bleeding here, except from the places that there should be light. I'm gonna bring in a little spotlight. You know, imagine if there was a lamp here or anything. I mean, not a lamp in this case. It's a and there's weird lighting stuff happens whenever I look around. Don't worry about that. We're gonna fix that later as well. And yeah, this looks great. I like this so far. And just yeah, bring in a directional light. Work with that. This looks great. This looks actually fantastic. I love this myself. Share me your creation. Share, like, really get comfortable with this. Get creative with it. Show me what you got. Show me what those hands can do. Basically, man. All it takes is for you is just to get a little bit comfortable with yourself and all. By the way, I'm moving the pivot point also around. I'm gonna be talking about it in later videos as well. But just literally just dragging this so. That's good. I like this. Great. Great, 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 great. Okay, let's see. If I happen to bring this a little bit more inside, this would leave more space. Yes. Nice. And for this guy, well, obviously, same thing. But, well, let's see. Yeah, this is fantastic. Well, as I said, I'm going to be working with it a little bit more, make a little something out of it, but basically, yeah, you can just get creative with it, get to build your thing and get more creative with it. Later on, we're going to add sky spheres and all, don't worry. And yeah, I mean, I hope you liked it. If we happen to play the game from here, we basically have, if I'm just going to put full screen, we have a little place to walk around. We have some stuff here. We have bushes, we have these two big guys right here, we have a little bridge, and we can pass under it. Just get creative with it. I really want to see your creations. I mean, this is very simple. Was just something that I was just going to show you what you can do with the engine. I mean, even though this was simple, this is something that's basically nice and a little nice that you can basically work with. And yeah, I want to see what you got and what you can do and basically just amaze me with your creations. Please, please, please send it to me on Instagram DMs. I would definitely post them all. I would post every single one of them. Well, as much as I can. But yeah, just please send it because I really do want to see how well this goes. And just share with me your creations, any questions, anything you guys have. Get creative with it, and I hope you guys will have a fun time doing this because I always do. Sometimes it gets irritating, but again, it gets really fun. So thank you so much for watching. I know this was a little bit long video, but it was also very challenging for us to create a little level because it takes a lot to start something. Believe me, I know that. So you're doing a fantastic job by coming along so far, and I would be so thankful if you give me a subscription on YouTube or if you follow me on Instagram and just leave me down any questions or any comments below, and I'll see you around in the next video. Thank you. خب دوستان، ما فقط کاری که کردیم راستیتش فقط یه محیط همینجور طراحی کردیم، کار خاصی نکردیم. فقط یه محیط طراحی کردیم و از کانتنت همون گفتیم که کانتنت براوزر همه چیزامونو داره، اسستامونو داره که همه چیزایی که داخل پروژمون هست داره و اسست پکیو که وارد کردیم ما دیدیم اینجا، متریالا رو دیدیم توضیح دادیم با تکسچرا با متریالا. خب اگه اونایی که بلندر و چیزای سه‌بعدی کار کردن بیشتر شاید بدونن با مش و اینا، ولی خب مپس که همون لولای خودمونه، این لول خودمون که ساختیم، این یه دونه دمو از همون طرفی که این استا رو ساخته. مش همون چیزایی که میتونیم بکشیم داخل سینمون. متریالز همون رنگی که داره معمولا. حالا خدا رو شکر اینا از قبل رنگ و اینا بهشون اعمال شده، ولی بعدا قراره توضیح بدیم تو ویدیو بعدی که اگه مثلا نبود چی کار رو بکنیم. و تکسچرامون که گفتم که برای اونایی که نمیدونند معمولا همیشه اون رنگ و اون قیافه مدل مثلا مثل این چوب از این تکسچرها میاد و توی متریال ها با یه سری کارهای، حالا چه میخواد ریاضی باشه چه بلندی باشه، مخلوطشون میکنیم و که بعدا قرار توضیح بدیم و متریال های خودمون رو ایمپورت میکنیم. و خلاصه آره، پس تکسچرها همون در از خود متریال، خود همون رنگا میشن، متریالا همون تکسچراند که با هم بلند و اینا میشن به عنوان یه اسید که میتونیم بندازیمش حالا روی سینمون یا ازش استفاده کنیم توی این دراپ داون. دمتونم گرم که اومدین تا اینجا. حتما اگه خوشحال میشم سوالی هرچی باشه، دوست دارم برام چیزایی که درست میکنید رو بفرستید ببینم، نظر بدیم همه. دوست دارم اگه بذارین حتما میذارم توی این اینستاگرامم، حتما خوشحالم میشم و دوست دارم که این فان باشه برای هممون همونجوری که گفتم. پس لطفاً اگر یه موقع دیدین داره اعصابتون رو خورد میکنه یه تایمی ازش آف بگیرید، ولی خیلی آف نکنید خودتون رو، چون دوست دارم واقعا چون بعد از یه مدت که نرین سرش واقعا زده میشید، دلتون نمیخواد دوباره برید سرش، ولی واقعا خیلی حال میده چون خیلی پاسیبیلیتی ها زیاده. و دیگه این ویدیو بعدیمونم میخوایم بریم، من تا دیگه ویدیو بعدی اینو کامل کردم، شما هم به طور خودتون کامل کنین یه چیز دیگه بسازین، بالا چیزای دیگه که دوست دارید. خوشحال شدم که این ویدیو رو تا اینجا دیدین، دمتونم گرم و تا ویدیو بعدی میبینمتون.